Good day, everyone, and welcome to another Out and About program. I'm Sam Gordon. In case you have been watching a series of Out and Abouts, you may notice that we're kind of on a positive theme. It all started with a program in the beginning of fall called Zest for Life. Now, we really thought that many people in this program might have taken a negative outlook, but we were proved wrong. In fact, about 95% of the people who answered our question, do you still have zest for life, said yes, overwhelmingly so. Then we decided to go back and do Abandoned Part 2. If you recall, in 1987, we took the Venango video cameras out all around Venango County and looked at things that were abandoned. Well, 1 year later, we went back to almost every site, and lo and behold, about 50% of the sites have been cleaned up or have been put to a new use. Positive outlook. So now on this show, we will complete that trilogy of an upbeat look. Maybe this is the perfect time of year to do it because with fall, a lot of people think that's synonymous with death. They don't realize that the daffodils, tulips, and crocuses are all in the ground, waiting to come up. So let's take a look right now at part number 3 in an upbeat program series. This time, it's going to be Entrepreneurism. Yes, Entrepreneurism. You probably have all heard the story of McDonald's and how it got started out in California. If not, I suggest looking it up and reading on it. It's fascinating. What about here in Venango County? Do we have those young entrepreneurs? People waiting, willing to take a chance to make some money? To make life better for themselves and perhaps others, believing in a product or a service that will go over? We're going to answer that question as we take our cameras once again around Venango County and look for the entrepreneurs out there on today's Out and About. Since we mentioned McDonald's, let's start with the food industry and entrepreneurism right here in Venango County. And let's start here. You won't find anybody standing in line right now for an ice cream cone. It's a little bit cold out for that. But maybe that's why Jim and Steph Singer decided to expand their business. This is the all-new Singer's Kreemy Express, located on Seneca Street in downtown Oil City. The idea behind Singer's Kreemy Express is to give shoppers of downtown Oil City a chance to sit down and enjoy some of their favorite treats from a carefully selected menu. They can even shop for selected gifts and sit down and have an old-fashioned ice cream cone. What inspired Jim and Stephanie Singer to go and invest their time and their money into this idea? Let's ask Stephanie Singer herself.
Jim and I have had the ice cream store, the ice cream shop down Lower Seneca Street for 5 years, and we found with having the ice cream store that there were a lot of people asking us for other things. We kept enlarging our food menu, and we felt there was a need to have different things and something that wasn't the typical fare, but we found that we were outgrowing our space that we had there. People were calling and asking us to do catering. We started doing catering. We started delivering lunches, and we felt there was a need for more in Oil City. So we started looking for a spot to put in a restaurant. And when we found this building, not only did we find that we could meet maybe the restaurant need, but we also had the space to do a gift shop, and we wanted to put in a little bakery, not only to complement our restaurant, but to offer homemade baked items for people in the local area that might be different from what they were used to getting or maybe couldn't get in this area. We also are having or planning to have a takeout items every day available for the working parent who maybe doesn't leave work and go home and have the time to fix dinner, but has to go home and take the children here, there, and everywhere else. I have children and I know what that's like. So this way they can stop in and they can pick up something to take home to either complement their dinner or to start their dinner or to have for dinner. whether it be a spaghetti sauce or a complete spaghetti meal or a stuffed chicken breast, something along that line that they can stop in and take home for dinner in the evening. We will also have, again, like I said, bakery items available to use to sell with our restaurant and to complement our restaurant food items, but also for takeout. We'll have special order items. We will have special order catering. If you need a wedding cake, if you need special things for parties, if you'd want to have a party cake made and cookies to go with it and complement it, we can do that. We can do almost anything. We are looking to try to fill the void that I think has been created by having so many people working nowadays, both mother and dad, or if it's a single parent, you can't seem to be able to do everything that you'd like to do for your family. So we'd like to think that you can come here and get something to complement your meals or to complement or to have for a party. We will also have space available certain evenings of the week to for catered private parties or private dinner functions or showers. There will be certain evenings during the week that we will be closed. We will only have dinners like Friday and Saturday nights. So the rest of the evenings, if you needed to have the space for a private catered party, we'll have that space available. So this is basically a lot. We've been thinking about this for a long time. This particular project we've been working on for over 2.5 years, trying to get something going and putting together all of our ideas. And I think we're going to have something. Well, it's been fun. I think we're going to have something that we can offer to Oil City. I hope that it'll work out well for everybody in Oil City, as well as for us.
One thing for sure, that if you travel through Oil City or shop in downtown Oil City, you're probably not going to go hungry, whether you're on the north side at Singer's Kreemy Express or on the south side. As we continue our look for entrepreneurism in Venango County, we are sticking with food. South Side, Central Avenue is our location for Sub Central. And this time, we talk with Cliff and Kathy Lockwood.
Yes, why did I decide to open a business? Well, one of the main reasons was it was always a dream of me and Kathy's to own our own business. Start a small business in the community. And we sort of, the last time we talked, I believe we were on camera up there at the January Jubilee, when we had the chili cook-off. And that sort of prompted me to thinking about doing something on my own, or maybe something for the community to help promote more business in the community and to provide a specialty food menu to the public, more or less. Like I say, it's something that we've always wanted to do, and we tried to do our best at it. And I believe Kathy will go along with that. It's a lot of hard work, and
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work.
a lot of things you got to do. But I believe that anybody can. It also helps to show that Oil City, you know, is the type of city that you can promote new ideas and bring new things into the area to help promote jobs. We have 4 full-time employees, actually 6, because we just added a delivery service with a couple drivers, and 4 girls that work here all the time. So it does help the community in the sense of promoting jobs too. And we really like the idea, and we hope that we can continue to serve the public with a good quality item, and that things in the area will increase for other people too, and other businesses, because I believe that anybody that really wants to can try at least to give something back and promote good business in the community around here.
That's right. If you have an idea or a dream, anybody can take a chance at it. There's city people out there that's willing to help you, set you on the right foot, get you started. So I think that more people in the area should try to develop an idea or a business or some kind to help promote more businesses, because that's what we need in this town.
Yes, that's a very important concept that she has, because without the people out there helping you, several things that we went through with the EDC and the city and the chamber and all the people that help us, we can't thank them enough, because they helped us get started and set us in the right direction, focus our attention on where we were going. So I believe that everybody can, if they want to, do what they want to, if you try hard enough and work hard enough at it.
Sharon Buchanan, who is the new manager of Sub Central on Oil City's South Side, not only shares in all the duties, but also in preparing the food itself. Spence is another employee of Sub Central, and he delivers all those hot, delicious treats right to your door. Jim, in fact, has been clocked at over 120 miles an hour right down First Street. Sub Central, a dream come true for Cliff and Kathy Lockwood. Entrepreneurism, definitely alive in Oil City and in Venango County. It came true for Cliff and Kathy Lockwood. In fact, you might say that 13 Central Avenue, the address for Sub Central, has proven to be their lucky number. Entrepreneurism, though, is much more than just eating and having food establishments. Matter of fact, entrepreneurism here in Venango County is an idea that you can sell something from a building that was once abandoned, like the building behind me, the former Seneca skating rink. Probably many of our viewers remember at one time, perhaps in the 60s, going round and round inside. Well, now you can go round and round and come up with the best price that you can on the items that they sell, because this is the all-new Peddlers Village Furniture Mart and Flea Market. Let's take a look inside this building and find out more about how this idea from a couple of entrepreneurs became a very, very stable store out in Seneca. Inside the Peddlers Village store, you'll find a wide selection of furniture for every room in the home. The flea market section, you'll find anything and everything. Hi, I'm helping. We had the chance to speak with owner Phil Woolmer of Peddlers Village on why he decided to become an entrepreneur and start this type of business in Venango County.
It seems that most of what I've done all my life is in sales, peddling one item or the other. There's a little flea market, or rather large flea market, down below Pittsburgh or below Butler. At one time went by the name Peddlers Village. The name impressed me, and it just seemed like the thing to do in this area. I was advised against it, that it would never happen in this area, that it would never do any good. But as you look around, we have several, and we have had as high as 35 dealers in our building peddling their wares. And some of the buys are exceptional, and they go from one extreme to the other.
To be an entrepreneur, you have to be creative, ingenious. And I guess that would really apply to somebody going into the advertising and print business. Let's ask Tom Marshall of Seneca why he decided to become an entrepreneur and go in business for himself.
Well, Sam, you're asking a question that sometimes I ask myself quite a bit. Why did I go in business for myself, especially in a field that's very difficult to make it in, the advertising field, or art in general? The reason was I had an idea for a business that a lot of people considered would not make it, and that is the idea of combining a lot of different types of advertising and promotional work into one business. And it's never been done, and as my travels took me around the United States on vacation and talking to other people, there isn't a business quite like this. We get into doing advertising artwork as well as carrying that on through every phase of promotions. Whether you'd like to put that ad on a cap or put it on paper, or you need copywriting, or anything else you need to communicate with the public. We're trying to combine that into one business. And that was the whole idea behind doing this. Sometimes I'm sorry, other times, it's not too bad, but I'm doing what I like to do. And to answer your question, probably most of the people you have talked to have come up with the same reason. They want to be able to be their own boss and do something that they really like to do. And I've been interested in art, as you know, for my whole life. It started down when I lived in New Orleans for a couple years, looking at all the ornate railings and down in the French Quarter, how beautiful the artwork, the French combination of the French architecture and also the colorful people down there. So that pretty much solidified my ideas of what I wanted to do in life. And then in high school, at Oil City High School, I was fortunate enough to win the contest for the design of the Votech seal back in your time, Sam. I can't remember. But that kind of, what they say, my teacher at the time, Bill Applequist, says, success breeds success. And I kind of found my little niche in there, what I really wanted to do, be a graphic artist. From there, I was able to pursue a career in printing also, being the last apprentice to go through the Derrick Publishing Company as a printer. And that gave me a background in preparing art for the printing process. A lot of people call themselves graphic artists, but to be a true graphic artist and designer, you have to have a solid background in printing, know how your art is going to be reproduced and how to lay it out that way. And this also follows in the silk screening process, and also an understanding of different other phases of the media. We're getting into something that you know a lot about, and that is radio. Under your tutelage, a few years back, I was able to experience some of the radio aspects of advertising and promotion, taking an intangible thought that you really can't grasp and putting it into words so the public understands, and different ways of doing that. And having a knowledge of radio when a client comes in here and radio copy is also very beneficial. So I guess what you'd call us is a one-stop advertising center. And this is the whole idea behind why I'm doing what I do right now. So we deal a lot with brand new businesses. A guy, especially, unfortunately, in the last couple of years, a lot of plants have laid off workers. And fellows who had a hobby on the side, like maybe doing mechanical work on cars or doing carpentry work of now, found that they need that extra income, and they start their own little business from scratch. And what's the first question that comes into their mind? What am I going to do? I don't know where to start. How am I going to promote my business? Who do I go see? Well, hopefully they come see us, because that's what we specialize in. We find out what their business is all about. We direct them, take some of the confusion away. And also, these people are kind of scared. They get all these ideas of what an agency is from, ideally, you probably remember the Bewitched program on TV. Well, Darren was an advertising exec, and they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on different campaigns. It's not that. Well, we can't do that here in this area. But what we do is we filter everything down so it really doesn't hurt their pocketbook. They're on a limited budget starting out a brand new business, so we work very closely. And the nice thing about it is that when you do start from scratch and you're able to provide all these services at once, consequently you're going to reduce the price of everything because you're buying everything at one place, saving the small businessman time, and time is money. We'll take that original idea, tell him what kind of invoices he might need, design the invoices tailored to his specific job. We'll take and do his signage. He might need his truck lettered. He might want a logo design. That's usually the first thing we do, create an image. He'll need an idea of how do I put an ad in the newspaper. We can give him advice on how to do that. We can prepare the ad if he wants. He'll say, well, how do I go about doing radio advertising? And our background in radio will help him get a better idea of what he needs to do, so when he comes to see a person like Sam Gordon at a local radio station, he'll be able to better communicate, and Sam takes some of the pressure off of Sam, too. So that's what we do, and get a lot of satisfaction out of this. Right now, since we've expanded our business, we're really not making the money that we'd like to make, but we're getting a lot of satisfaction out of it, and it feels really good to see a guy who just started go out and make a success of his business, and we feel like we've had a part in it. Recently, quite a few businesses have gone in the area, and one in particular, Singers. I believe you did something with Singers Kreemy Express, a brand new business downtown. They came to us, and the whole aspect of their communicating with the public graphically with all their signs, we helped develop. We're very proud of that. That's something that really turned out well for us. A lot of thought and effort went into it. Believe it or not, in the last 10 years, since I've been doing graphic art, probably over 100 different logo designs that people in the area see every day, we did design. Basically, we do what we design. And we have a great rapport with our clients. They're able to talk to me. I'm able to talk to them. They're able to tell me where to go if they don't like it. I never do that, though. We try and keep things on a nice, even keel, and there are never any surprises. Service is the key. We believe that service is coming back in our society, and you treat people right and give them a good quality product and don't steer them wrong. They'll be back. They'll take care of me. That's pretty much the whole story, Sam. And I appreciate you coming out and listening to my line. And hopefully people from this will get a better understanding of what it takes to get into business, and especially what it takes for a business that has a lot of creativity involved in it. It's a little bit more difficult. There are a lot of starving artists out there. Hopefully I won't be one of them.
Reason after reason, location after location, entrepreneurs, why they decided to go in business for themselves. Now, let's talk with Rick Adams of Adams Video in Oil City to find out his reason.
Well, Sam, for the reason is, for years I had an interest in video. The cameras, the recorders, I'd gotten a recorder when they first come out, and I'd always been interested in the field. And when video started to boom, and Oil City looked like they needed a rental outlet plus a place where people could get their video equipment, I had decided to go into the field. I had worked at the can company for quite a few years and thought I'd have this as a sideline. But as it turned out, with the can company slowing down, I decided to go into this full time, and it's grown and it's worked out very well for me over the years. On Central Avenue, we had approximately 150 titles. That was in 1984. Now we've expanded to where we're up to almost 2,500 movies. Also, we've gotten into the camera rental and also camcorder sales, which we didn't have over there. Also, as far as customers, We started off in our first year, I think the first couple of weeks we had something like 5 members in our club, which now we've gone up to 2,600 people as club members here at Adams Video. The field itself, it seems to be a national pastime now. People really, as far as TV and movies and things, it seems like video rentals has really grown into a large market.
So far in the program of Entrepreneurism, we've had the opportunity to chat with people who have started businesses and are in business presently. But what about somebody who has an idea, not for a business, but actually something that could blossom into a national campaign? Well, there is such an individual. He lives on Bankson Road, right outside of Rouseville. His name is Stanley Grzasko. His idea? The Great American Gripe Out. Let's meet him now.
Thank you very much for that swell introduction, Sam. It gives me great pleasure at this time to introduce the local Oil City, Franklin area about my idea called the Great American Gripe Out. What is the Great American Gripe Out? First of all, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the idea and how it began. Once in a very long time, an idea comes along that I think needs to be shared with others and to be shared with the community. And this idea that I've had is such a one. The Great American Gripe Out. Think about this. Okay. Well, it all started one day as I was listening to a local talk show. In fact, it's called The Paul Speed Show, which Sam Gordon hosts, and along with Lynn Morrow and Frank Stacy. Well, anyways, it became apparent to me that as I listened to the talk show, that there existed evil beings who coexisted with us. And soon I noticed that not only were they on talk shows that they were present, but everywhere that people are. They became so real to me that I could actually visualize them. And everyone has them. Even myself, I have found out that I have them too. And they are what I call gripes. Gripes are beings whose existence depend totally on our frantic emotions. They live to destroy peace and harmony in people's lives. They take their pleasure in the destruction of good human values. There are very many different kinds of gripes. For instance, there are gripes of anger, there are gripes of envy and jealousy, and there are gripes of hatred and greed. And there is only one thing in this life that gripes cannot stand, and this is complete happiness. They can't stand to see anyone happy, and if the happiness is great, the gripes will be destroyed. You know, gripes, they can multiply rapidly. One gripe can lead to another, and another, and another, and another, etc. And before you know it, the gripes are in control to make of very unpleasant situations. What I propose to do is to eliminate or wipe out the gripes. A Great American Gripe Out. On the local level, that is. Perhaps just the Oil City and Franklin area. But who knows, maybe we could even spread this thing statewide. And if we go statewide, perhaps we could go nationally across the United States, which would be called, again, the Great American Gripe Out. Okay, perhaps a day in May or in June, when the weather's hot, would be a fine time for doing something like this. My philosophy is this: we could take the gripe idea, we could make T-shirts, we could take and make hats, all different kinds of things that would help promote the Great American Gripe Out Day. And the money, the proceeds for the Great American Gripe Out Day would go, I'd like to see it go to some charity. And, you know, talking about gripes, there's just no end to it because they're so real to me. And you can see them on people's backs and shoulders. And I face the gripes every day at work. You know, every day it's union and company. It's the school teachers against the school students, the administration. Everyone has a gripe. One needs to look in the paper or to watch news, you know, to see the gripes that are in existence, and they cause so much unhappiness in the world. One looks, like I said, if you look in the newspaper, and especially under the divorce column there, you'd notice that the gripes are busy at work there. So, another thing that would help promote the gripes would be a good idea for us to have a logos. And so what I've come up with for our logos is gripes like this. And the first gripe I have, this is supposed to be a red gripe. I know it looks pink, but this is an angry red gripe. Okay, now for the logos, I would have this say on a t-shirt and a hat, supposedly in a circle, and I would have a line going right down through the center of my gripe, meaning no gripes, of course. And I have a few more gripes here. I'll put this down. This is my blue gripe. Okay, now the blue indicates sadness. You know, people are sad all the time. They don't have no money or this or that. You know, it's just one gripe after another. And my favorite gripe, I think, is the gripe of purple passion. Okay, now I call this my ripe gripe. Okay, because so many people are ripe for a purple passionate gripe. So, but these are some of the ideas, but there's no end. You could go to games on this, and anyways, I'd like to see the participants, those who participate in the Great American Gripe Out, to be called Gripe Busters, and they could wear the color, you know, of the T-shirts to show which gripe was going to be eliminated that day. Also, some of the slogans that I think would be good on the Great American Gripe Out Day would be like, go one day without a gripe, and get the gripe off your back, or back off gripes, or yipes gripes. You know, there's just no end to the possibilities. So, my idea is, let's turn something bad into something good, because we all have gripes. So, that's about it, Sam. And I hope that we can get the message across to the local community. I have plans to meet with organizations that could perhaps turn this into what I'm expecting it to do. So let's get out there and get rid of the gripes.
There is one more person that I would like to salute as an entrepreneur, because without this individual, the entire program would not be possible. As a matter of fact, everything you watch today on Venango Video would not be. Because some 16 years ago, a fellow by the name of Jeff Sterling was the pioneer and the force behind public access TV here in Venango County. Entrepreneurism on today's program. Till next time we have a chance to come back into your home, this is Sam Gordon saying have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow, and see you again on the next Out and About.